We're gonna try to speed this one up. Alright, we're down to the Misir wok. Now, while I was prepping and doing the knitter kebab and letting it simmer, I don't have cheesecloth, so I got like a dirty kebab and it's delicious. In my humble, small opinion, everything I say is only my opinion. It's not what is, just me. I think it's quite tasty. So while I did that, I took my lentils. Now the water moves, so you can't quite see it. I rinsed them decently. Disclaimer, with lentils, you got to watch out for little stones. They could be in there. I've not run into one yet. And don't let me get cocky and lose a damn tooth. And they say if the floating ones, you should throw them out. I just don't care. But you clean them, you get them decently clean, and then you, what I do is I soak them in the vegetable broth well before, while I'm doing the knitter kebab and everything and getting it ready. Alright, I can't be too long-winded this time. So we got our clarified butter. We saved a little bit aside for the very end. And I'm doing, because I like onions, I'm doing 2.5 onions. I'm taking the half onion from the knitter kebab and then 2 other onions, and I'm putting it in here. Now, I'm gonna let this slow simmer for quite a while and let those cook down, and then we'll be back. Real quick, disclaimer. I want these onions to come up fast. I want to cook them fast so that, you know, they get on my video. And you can't get it up too fast. You can't burn that knitter, because then it turns bitter. Seriously though, I want to get it up fast, but I don't want to burn that butter at all. So the way to build up that heat more quickly is with a lid. Our onions are still cooking. I want to throw some information out there real quick so I didn't get bogged down later. So generally this calls for Roma tomatoes. I'm not a huge fan. I don't find that they're very tasty. I heard they're great for sauce, but they don't have much flavor. So I'm actually trying something new this time. It is I did some from the vine tomatoes, probably like 3 of them. And then I did half a thing of cherry tomatoes. Cut them in half. We're going with that. And we're doing this with 1 pound of red lentils. Red lentils, it makes a difference. Onions are still cooking, but I want to say, I listened to my last video, and Brundo Company, if you can go around Amazon, absolutely do. Don't you dare let me say go to Amazon. It was just easy, and that's where I found them. But I do want you to order from these ladies. Brundo. You need to get that Beso Bela and Casserot. Get it. Oh. Alright, we'll be back. Okay. I think we're going alright. I'm not a camera man. So we got a decent simmer. We got a good simmer. They're nearly translucent. Now we're going to add garlic and ginger. Garlic and ginger. So I do 2 whole cloves of garlic, and I'm actually ashamed of myself, but my grocery didn't have any fresh ginger today, and for the first time I had to use this, so I just squirted in about 3/8 of the amount of garlic that I put in there. And now I'm going to stir that around real quick. I don't want it to go, and I don't want it to burn, and I'm going to let it go just quick enough, because I got a good heat in there, and I'm not going to cook it down. I'm going to get it to where I'm smelling those smells. Okay, we didn't go long with the ginger and the garlic. I say that because I put a little too much ginger in. That's what I'm smelling primarily. So next we're going to do a 6-ounce thing of tomato paste. Whatever brand. Now, the tomatoes we mentioned earlier, it was half a thing of cherry. This is something I'm trying new. And 3 tomatoes from the vine. And now we're going to add our bear spice we made earlier. I got a thing here of it. And I'm just going to kind of season it like I would want to season something. I don't have an actual measurement at this point. Put a decent amount in to cover all those tomatoes and paste I just put on there, and then I'm going to stir it around a bit. I'm probably going to add a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit more. That's a real rough precision to give you there. And I'm going to put a little bit in at the end, and then usually I have some left over, but I'm going to add just a little bit more. I want it to taste like it. I do. But I don't want to ruin the other flavors. That's where we're going to stop for here. We'll be back. We're going to stir that a bit. Okay, so I'm leaving the lid off at this point. It's got some heat in there. This is what she looks like now. I don't want to close that heat in. I don't want it to burn the bottom. I want to give it a chance to come through. And I'm stirring it and moving it around. You don't have to cook the tomatoes and the paste and the bear too long. But since I put in those new cherry tomatoes, I got all sorts of chunks. I got all sorts of onions. I'm going to emulsify just a little bit real quick. Alright, good enough. I don't like to do it with the lentils because I don't want mush. I want some consistency, but we got to... Okay. The last step. You're going to add your lentils and vegetable broth. Now, I soaked these lentils and I kept enough broth to where it was, when I bend it, you can't see the water, but it's right above the lentils so they can keep absorbing that vegetable broth. Now, I'm going to pour that in all the way. Put it in there. I'm going to mix that up nice and good. And if we need to add a little vegetable broth to have a little bit more liquid than you have of everything else, because you want to cook this for a while and keep absorbing, keep building those lentils. Like, let the heat and the moisture and everything around there create a fat delicious lentil. Now that you've added the lentils and the vegetable broth, you've brought the temperature down quite a bit, so it's good to go ahead and put that lid back on for a minute. I do like a medium heat because it's already got heat there. It just needs to come back. And then once it starts to simmer, I bring it down low with a little crack on the lid. I think we're going to go ahead and post this, and we're going to cook it all the way down. I let that go for about another 45 minutes or so. Get it up to a heat where it has potential, but doesn't have any oomph. Don't let it be too weak that it's stagnant, and let it simmer for a while. Let the lentils suck it in. I'm never actually hungry by the time I'm done because I've been taste testing the whole way through. Now, I wasn't good enough to make injera, but if you can, that's the best with it. At the very end, right before you're done, you've been cooking for a while, I add the rest of that knitter kebab, and I add more bear, probably about half of that. I'm gonna add it to it. But while you're tasting it, while it's cooking, you can determine how much bear you're adding at the end. Add it as you go. Oh, I'm tasting it's tasty, but I want a little bit more. Yeah, I guess that's that. That one's empty. Cheers!